Hey everybody. We are taking a look at the heart again, but this time we're going to look at the interior features. This one's been cut. I have another one just in case we need to look at different parts. So let's orient ourselves a little bit. We know that this is the apex, so this is inferior. There's no blood vessels coming out of here. All the blood vessels coming out of the top. This is superior. The major blood vessels, the pulmonary trunk, is most anterior, followed by the aorta. We don't see the full arch, it's been cut, but it's going to be arching this way. So this is the anterior side, and this is posterior. That means the pulmonary trunk gets blood from the right ventricle, so right ventricle to pulmonary trunk. This is the right side, here's the left side. All right, looking first at the right atrium. What we can notice is that if we cut open this auricle, this is the auricle of the right atrium, cut that open, we can see that the muscle is textured on the inside. And the same would be true for the left atrium. You've got this textured muscle, it's called pectinate muscle, pectinate. It's this comb-like appearance which helps the atrium stretch out so that you can get as much blood returned back to the heart as possible. So that's called pectinate muscle. So pectinate muscle is both in right and left atria, in the auricles especially. Something that's specific to the right atrium is, see this depression, this roundish depression right here? If I poked a hole, it would go to the left atrium, this round depression. The word for depression is fossa, and it's oval-shaped, so this is fossa ovalis. I know we have a fossa ovalis in our skulls, but that is a different one. This one is filled in. It's thinner and round because it used to be a hole. When we were fetuses, this was a hole leading to our left atrium so that we could bypass our pulmonary circulation. This was a bypass, as it was the ductus arteriosus, which is now in our adult hearts, ligamentum arteriosum. So this in fetuses is as a whole is called foramen ovale. All right, I guess that's what I mean. And we have skulls. In our skulls, we have the foramen ovale. In fetuses, this was the foramen ovale, but now it's the fossa ovalis. This fills in, it's the fossa ovalis. It used to be the foramen ovale. One other thing is that the right atrium gets blood from the superior vena cava, which is actually, that's not it. It's right here. Superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, from the upper body, from the lower body, respectively. But for the coronary circulation, it also gets blood from the coronary sinus. You can kind of see a little hole here. I'm going to show you on the other heart. It looks better. On this heart, this is the right atrium. If you look closely, there's a little blood hole right here. This is for the coronary sinus, this blood vessel, this major blood vessel in the posterior of the heart, coronary sinus to empty blood into the right atrium. And the fossa ovalis is over here. Coronary sinus, and this is in the right atrium to empty blood from coronary circulation. All right, so that's the right atrium. When we pump blood through the right atrium, we then get to the right ventricle. You know, I'm going to go back to that other heart. Here we go. From the right atrium, this is the right atrium. You can see the aorta. Right atrium, same thing. From the right atrium to the right ventricle, the valve here, this valve is the tricuspid valve. This is the tricuspid valve. You can see some, you know what, it appears better on this one. I'm going to keep going back and forth. You can see the chordae tendineae of the valve right here. These are the chordae tendineae of the valve, and they attach to this bump of a muscle. That's papillary muscle. Let's take a look once again over here. We can see that it's hiding. Here's papillary muscle, and here's one of the flaps of the valves. You can see that it flaps. Here's the chordae tendineae of the tricuspid valve. Chordae tendineae And the chordae tendineae, this is actually a really good example. Chordae tendineae attached to papillary muscle. Papillary muscle are found within the right and left ventricle, but right now we're in the right ventricle. So from right atrium to right ventricle through the tricuspid valve, one of the atrioventricular valves. In the right ventricle, the muscle is also textured. That's called trabeculae carneae. The textured muscle is called trabeculae carneae. They're these meaty ridges, meaty branches, and that they're to prevent suction, so that you don't want your heart to, when they squeeze, you don't want your walls to stick together. But by having this texture, it prevents them from sticking together. What you can also find in the right ventricle, but not the left ventricle, is a band, which I don't know how well it shows it in this cut, but we're looking for a band that connects at the base, or I should say at the apex of the right ventricle. It's called the moderator band. It's to prevent overexpansion. Since the right ventricle is not as strong as the left, you need a band to ensure, to prevent overexpansion. I think maybe this heart shows it a little bit better. Crossing over this way. Moderator band prevents overexpansion. One other thing that I guess I can point out here in the right atrium, there's a reason why, so this person had a pacemaker, and this pacemaker is going to be inserted towards the sinoatrial node. Sinoatrial node would be on top of the atrium, and then the AV node would be between the atrium and the ventricle, or the right atrium and right ventricle. So that's why this wire's passing through right here. It's going to the sinoatrial node, which is on top of the right atrium, and then will likely help deliver electricity to the AV node, atrioventricular node. All right, so we've gone from the right atrium to the right ventricle. Right atrium to right ventricle. From the right ventricle, we pump blood out to the pulmonary trunk. To go from, this is right ventricle. From the right ventricle to the pulmonary trunk, can I get the hole here? Let me see. There we go. So you can see my probe here. From the right ventricle, we go diagonal that way and deep, and you can see my probe coming out the other end. The valve that I'm going through, which you can't really make out right now, but let's see if I can show you in this cut. The valve, yeah, here we go. This is blood. Ignore that. Go away, blood. Okay, this valve right here, that is the pulmonary semilunar valve. This is the pulmonary trunk. Inside of it, we've got the pulmonary semilunar valve to regulate blood flow from the right ventricle outwards to the pulmonary circulation. From the pulmonary trunk, this will branch to left and right pulmonary arteries. So here's a right pulmonary artery. Where's the left? It's hiding here. Oh, here we go. Here's the left pulmonary artery. So the pulmonary trunk branches to pulmonary arteries, branches to pulmonary capillaries. Then we get the blood oxygenated, and we return to the heart. It's best seen from the posterior side to the pulmonary veins. So here's right pulmonary vein, another right pulmonary vein. Right pulmonary vein and another right pulmonary vein, left pulmonary vein, left pulmonary vein. It's been cut here on this one. Is it any better? Right pulmonary veins, left, left. This is the posterior of the heart. Here's the left atrium, left pulmonary veins, returning blood back to the heart. Okay, so this is the posterior view. Here's the left atrium, and we have pulmonary veins returning oxygenated blood to the heart. left atrium, left atrium. You can see the holes for the pulmonary veins. Left atrium, in the auricle only do you have those pectinate muscles. From the left atrium, we pump blood to the left ventricle. This is the bicuspid valve, which is also called the mitral valve. Bicuspid. You can see it has chordae tendineae, it's attached to papillary muscle, these big broad muscles here to help prevent inversion of the valves. And there's trabeculae carneae. There is no moderator band in the left ventricle. You don't need it because it's strong enough. It's not going to overexpand, or at least not normally. You can see how clearly how much thicker the left ventricle is. All of this, majority of this, so like from here around, that's all left ventricle. Look how thick that wall is. Left ventricle pumps blood really forcefully so it can get to the rest of your body. Whereas your right ventricle, much thinner relatively, much thinner on this side over here, because it's just pumping blood to the lungs, which is next door to the heart. So left ventricle, very, very thick. Right ventricle, much thinner. Okay, so the left ventricle will pump blood out of the heart to the aorta. Let me get my probe in here so you can see it goes through. Trying to get the right path. Takes a little finessing here. Almost. I feel it. Just need to get to that last part. I'll do it the other way. Okay, so here is the left ventricle. This is the opening to the aorta. And you can, hopefully you have to just trust me. This is the probe. I've stuck the probe from the left ventricle through the aorta. Aortic semilunar valve is in here. Aortic semilunar valve. It goes through the aorta, and then we can go either to the brachiocephalic, left common carotid, left subclavian, or descending aorta. But the probe is right here. You can see how straight it is right along here. I've stuck the probe through this hole. Left ventricle, aortic semilunar valve, out the aorta. All right. Some more things I want to point out. I point out the atrioventricular node, which is on top of the atrium. The sinoatrial node, which is on top of the atrium. Atrioventricular node, which is in between the right atrium and right ventricle. The internodal, the bundle branches would be right here. Here's the bundle, the interseptal bundle, and the bundle branches go on either side within the septum, and then the Purkinje fibers branch up that way, so that way the heart squeezes from apex to base. All right, I believe those are all the terms, all the things I'd like you to be able to identify and what they do. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.